Florida. But what are his plans for the future? One of his top advisors revealed some potential plans.
Top Trump advisor Jason Miller tells Just the News that former President Trump has a number of goals in the next couple of years. One of his major goals is to win back the Senate and the House for Republicans in the 2022 midterm elections. This is to stop what he calls, quote, the Democratic craziness. The Democratic Party currently holds a majority in both the House and the Senate. Miller also reveals Trump plans to be the nation's leader on voter integrity. He expects Trump to work closely with state legislatures to ensure election integrity. Miller adds that Trump will start after undergoing a transition period first. But because Democrats are in control of both Congress and the White House, Miller does not believe Washington will address the issue of election integrity. Although Trump has not said whether he will run for president again in 2024, he told his supporters before leaving office on Wednesday that, quote, we will be back in some form. He also said in his farewell video on Tuesday that, quote, the movement we started is only just beginning. On the same day, Miller tweeted a picture of the White House with the caption that says, until 2025.
In California, a pastor avoids jail time for not complying with virus guidelines. Instead, he's facing $1 million in fines. NTD's David Lamb hears from those involved outside the courthouse.
Santa Clara County called for the arrest and jail time for Pastor Mike McClure and Pastor Carson Atherley for not enforcing church members to follow COVID guidelines. The attorney representing the pastors, Robert Tyler, said that jail time is possible, but the court is seeking monetary fines rather than jail time. This was after a rally and hearing at the San Jose courthouse yesterday.
So, at this point in time, it does appear to be off the table. I don't think we're going to be looking at these gentlemen in handcuffs anytime soon.
Organizers and supporters of the pastors met before the court hearing.
We can't enforce someone else's, it's not even a law, I shouldn't say, their rules, their mandates. We don't have the authority to enforce it. Specifically masked, it's a medical device.
McClure reopened his church, Calvary Chapel, San Jose, last year. The fines have accumulated to over $1 million.
It's sad to see the state in which our country is, where you have the state fighting against the church or the church against the state. What we need to is remember that what made America great was our trust in God. We were united under this understanding that this is a great nation to be in, and I still believe this is a great nation.
The pastors believe that places of worship help the community's mental health during the pandemic.
When you hear from Pastor McClure talking about the lives that are changed because they're coming together and having the opportunity to meet, and souls that are being saved, and lives that are literally saved from suicide.
And again, this is a battle that's going to be won in prayer, so continue to lift this up throughout the next week. God bless you guys.
The court hearing is next Thursday on January 28th for closing arguments. David Lamb, NTD News, California.
The Chinese Communist regime found to have been developing more advanced military drones. And the adversary they have in mind, the United States of America.
Beijing is ramping up its production of military drones, according to a leaked document from China's Ministry of National Defense obtained by the Epoch Times. The goal is to spy on and compete with adversaries like the United States. The 2017 document explained the purpose is to arm China's military defense and make it capable of taking on U.S. weapons. The document said the drones could be used to seize information as well as control and restrict other nations' information. Chinese media reported that China spends 0.5% of its military budget on drones, while the U.S. spends 0.8%. Military drones take up a quarter of China's drone market, while China's commercial drone giant DJI claims over 80% of the global market. The Chinese company has been accused of collecting unnecessary information from users. American officials say the company may send Americans' data to China. DJI denies the claims. Police departments from 22 U.S. states use the Chinese drones to enforce social distancing guidelines. The Trump administration banned DJI from buying American products, citing national security concerns. The move dealt a hard blow to the company, who rely heavily on electronic components made in the U.S. Penny Zhou, NTD News.
China has been reporting a rise in virus cases. That's led to some authorities taking extreme virus prevention measures. NTD's Tiffany Meyer brings us more on what they are.
Shanghai is imposing lockdowns on two of China's best-known hospitals after they were linked to new CCP virus cases. Outpatient services have been suspended at Fudan University Shanghai Cancer Center and Zhenji Hospital, both of which have been cordoned off along with some surrounding residential communities. China now finds itself on guard against new clusters of CCP virus infections that have been emerging largely in the country's frigid north. Lockdowns have been imposed in parts of Beijing and other cities following outbreaks. Schools are letting out early, and citizens have been told to stay home for next month's Lunar New Year holiday. Now we zoom in on two viral videos circulating in China. They reportedly capture some of authorities' most extreme tactics to slow virus spread. The first video shows what happened when one man from Shijiazhuang, the capital city of Hebei province, went out to buy a cigarette. At the time, his home district had already gone under lockdown. On his way, he was stopped by security. To stop him from leaving, the guards surrounded him and tied him to a tree. One of the guards yelled at him, threatening to beat him to death if he came out again. Chinese authorities have been known to make examples out of people to discourage rule breakers. The incident was captured earlier this week. The video has since gone viral on Chinese social media. Chinese lawyer Lu Yingge responded to the issue, saying more terrifying than the pandemic is the party's surge of control. Another viral video from Heilongjiang province shows a similar case. An elderly man was spotted trying to board a bus on Monday, but he was refused because he couldn't produce the right health code. That's because he doesn't own a smartphone. In China, all citizens face checkpoints where they're made to show health tracking codes. The person's recent virus test results and other health data are displayed when the code is scanned. Blocked by the bus driver, the man lost his temper and used a shovel to smash the bus windows. The outburst left two of them broken. But the incident isn't the first of its kind. Since the pandemic started, many of China's elderly citizens who don't own smart devices have faced similar issues. Chinese netizens sympathize with the man online, urging authorities to provide options for people who don't have smartphones. Some suggested communities give out written documents certifying health status. Hi, we're happy to announce that you can also catch us on cable TV now. Millions of households already choose us as one of their trusted news sources, and you can too. You can watch us in Chicago, Washington, D.C., New York, and many other cities as well. And if your system doesn't carry NTD yet, you can just give them a quick call and request NTD on your cable provider. Thank you for watching. See you next time.